right, guys, here we go. Let's tackle this. All right, so today, this is our worksheets here. This is our equation worksheet. And we're going to tackle how we tackle equations here real quick. So let's look at this. Let me change this so a little thinner. It's a little too thick. Let's talk about this. So the first thing we're always doing, we got three main ideas. We're going to clear the denominator, we're going to clear the radical, and we're going to use the opposite operation. So the first thing we want to do is we want to locate the denominator. So this denominator is 2. Once we locate the denominator, we're going to multiply all of it. We're going to multiply everything that is not in parentheses by the denominator. So we got 2 over 1 here, 2 over 1 here. The reason it's 2 over 1 is because when you take a whole number like 2, don't forget it's 2 over 1 as a fraction. So since we're multiplying by 2, we got to make sure it stays as a fraction. So 2 over 1. So once we multiply through by the denominators here, these 2's are going to cancel out. And negative 2 times 2 here, those are going to equal our negative 4. So after we multiply by the denominator, if you notice right here, all of this is gone. I'm sorry, not all of it. All the fractions are gone. So then if we take all the fractions away, we're left with x plus 4 because there's just a 1 out in front. And then we're left with negative 4 in front. Now, when we go back in our old algebra days, you have to distribute this into each one. So each term inside gets to be multiplied by negative 4. So on this next step, I show you guys, you got to multiply it by negative 4. Notice that this negative sign stayed right in the middle between everything. I didn't move the negative sign anywhere else. So once I distribute, it's called the distributive property, then I can multiply these together. So distribute means to multiply. Once I multiply, I get negative 12x, and I get positive 16 because a negative times a negative right here is a positive, and 4 times 4 is 16. So now I get these guys right here. It's a nice clean equation. And then from this nice clean equation, I can move things around. I took this negative, let me change colors for you guys here. I took this, that's not that, we'll go with green. I took this 12x and I did it again. So this right here, I did the math in my head. This should be 12. Okay, so I took this 12 and I moved it over here. And when it crosses the equal sign, it changes sign. So it's negative 12 on this side and it's positive 12 on that side. That's where this 12x came from. So remember, this is not 13x. That means this is not 14x. So this is 13x. And this is 13. No, this is 13. What the heck? This is all wrong. I did it backwards. I end up, guys, just so you guys know, I do stuff in my head before I write it, and I don't realize it, and it's just one of those idiosyncrasies that I have. So this answer is actually x equals 12 over 13. So I move the 12 over here, and if you notice, I'll take this other one here, and I have this positive 4 here, and when I move it over here, it becomes a negative because it crossed the equal sign. And then for the final answer here, x equals 12 over 13, I end up dividing by 13. Or when I move it over here, it just becomes the denominator. So there's my There's how to solve basic equations there. So then we've got one more here. Hopefully I didn't make any mistakes on this one. So this is something new. We have the radical. It's called a radical, something you guys did last year. And to get rid of the radical, you have to square both sides. So when we see something like this, we know we're going to square both sides. So what I did is I squared the radical here and I squared the other side. So when I square the radical, these two pieces cancel each other out, and I'm only left with what is inside right here. Let's change colors again. I'll do the purple. We're left with what's inside right there. And then once I clear the radical out, so I clear the denominator out, I'm only left with this piece here, and then I just got to complete the math side of it. So 5 squared, how's it 25? Because it's 5 times 5. That's where that came from. And then from there, here we go again. How did I get the positive 3 over here? Well, in your old math days, you guys were taught to add 3 to both sides, and that cancels out, and you get 25 plus 3 from here. I'm showing you guys a little bit more of a shortcut to where all you do is you move the 3 to the other side of the equal sign, and it changes the sign. Move the 3, and it switches signs. So that's what I'm telling you. But it's the same thing as this, guys. You can still do this. I don't care. All right. So let's double check my math. I move the 3 over. I got the 2x. I got the 2x equals 28. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 2. So if I'm going to be multiplication on this side, it's going to be division on this side. That's why this 2 is down here. Or when you're looking at it, I can divide both sides by 2. I'm not sure why the formatting's small on this one, guys. Divided by 2, and therefore I can either get 28 over 2 or 14. So those are the basic ideas, guys. I'm going to go back up to the top here for a second. Whoops, why did it do that? Let's go back here. Just remember, I made a mistake in my head right here. This is 12x right here, so make sure you fix that, and the final answer is not this anymore. It should be 12 over 13. That's how you deal with equations, and that'll help you today on Thursday. So let's see if I can stop